get. Money and fame gonna get you yet. 15 minutes is all you get, so get it while you can. 15 minutes is all you get. Money and fame and no regret. 15 minutes is all you get, so get it while you can.
Gonna be great on the selfies on the internet. Look at him. What a loser.
15 minutes of fame, and everyone used to say 15 minutes of fame, then they steal your star away.
Welcome back to Trailer Trash TV's 10th anniversary season. As you see, we're at the New Hope Cinema Grill in New Hope, Minnesota. They were kind enough, Eric Kitchen and his staff were kind enough to provide a facility for this entire season of Trailer Trash TV. We're inside the main theater now. This is really, really cool. And stay tuned for news about a potential celebration coming up at the facility here as we know it. Like I said, welcome back to the 10th anniversary season, and we're going to start this particular show going back to January 2001. And what we're doing, in case you missed last time's show, we're taking a 10-year retrospective of Trailer Trash TV. Going back through the Trailer Trash archives to the very early Clutter up to present day. So I'm going to take, oh gosh, I'm hoping for about 20 shows for 10 years worth of stuff. So cross your fingers I can pull this off. I don't know. But like I said, we're going back to January 2001, and we're going back to the initial concept of Trailer Trash TV, a tribute to classic Universal films. So January 2001, the early installments of Trailer Trash TV, then known as Scotty J's Trailer Trash. Check it out, and I'll be right back.
To the lab and see what's on the slab.
I want to learn the ways of the Force and become a Jedi like my father.
Welcome back to yet another edition of Scotty J's Trailer Trash. I'm your distinguished host, Scotty J, and this week we're going to be basically, we're going to be doing another little flashback back to the golden age of horror films. Not necessarily all horror. Yes, they are all horror this week according to my little list here. But they're going to be classic and not so classic. Not necessarily all Universal, not necessarily all great. They are great in their own way in their campiness, but that's just from personal taste. We're going to start right off with Karloff's last film as Frankenstein. It's the third in the series. Few people know about this aside from the serious horror film buffs, such as yours truly. This one is called Son of Frankenstein. Followed right on the heels of Bride of Frankenstein, actually a couple of years after that one. But Karloff's last film, and some critics say it was actually almost the best of the Frankenstein trilogy. But we're going to take a look at that, and then we're going to take a look at another Lugosi film, Black Friday. Not so much a standard monster film, but this was more of a psychological study, shall we say. Followed by the original trailer for The Wolfman, one called Atomic Monster, which was actually previously released as man-made monster, I believe. But and then we're gonna follow that up with a film called Ghost of Frankenstein. I'll leave my opinions to themselves on that one, but enjoy these, and we'll be right back.
As a man, I could destroy him. But as a scientist, I should do everything in my power to bring him back to conscious life. Benson, turn on the generator.
Produced on a vast scale, son Frankenstein presents the most fearsome cast in the history of the screen. The Ratbone. In his heart, warm human emotions. In his mind, the monster mania. Karloff, rising from the past to spread new terror. Lugosi, sinister, mysterious, evil. Lionel Atwill, grim hatred in his blood.
By heaven, I think you're a worse fiend than your father. Where is this monster? Where is he? I'll stay by your side until you confess. And if you don't, I'll feed you to the villagers.
Newspapers and magazines everywhere carried an amazing story. Reporters saw Dr. Manley Hall hypnotize actor Lugosi to give reality to a scene in Black Friday. Horror-struck, they witnessed the hypnotized actor's mortal agony as Lugosi actually experienced the terror of suffocating to death in a closet.
Let me out, please! I'm suffocating!
The sinister hand of science dares a new and dangerous experiment. Into the body of a gentle scholar is grafted the brain of a criminal, and a new and deadly monster is born to ravage an unsuspecting world.
Big shot.
Yeah, fix it up, will you?
How'd you get it?
The coppers shot me. It's only a scratch.
How'd you get it?
Well, don't ride me. It's your fault anyway.
Fine.
Yeah.
We'll take $6.
Go ahead and shoot if you want to dive 200 feet for it.
Keep him coming.
Get out of here.
What do you
Yes,
mean?
you do. Stop it.
Johnny Williams was killed? Yes. Find something? Animal tracks.
Whoever is bitten by a werewolf and lives becomes a werewolf himself.
Oh, don't hand me that. You're just wasting your time.
The wolf bit you, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. You wouldn't want to run away with a murderer, would you?
Oh, Larry, you're not. You know you're not.
I killed Baylor. I killed Richardson. If I stay here any longer, you can't tell who'll be next.
Now you'll do exactly as I say. Step down from there. I'd always found the female of the species was more responsive to electrical impulse than was the male. It's fortunate that we met here. Shall I show you how it was done?
There's a curse on our village. The curse of Frankenstein.
Father was Frankenstein. That your mother was the lightning.
The most dreaded creation of man, the monster of Frankenstein, stalks again. Here is drama completely strange, full of weird suspense. With this great cast, Sir Cedric Hardwicke, Lionel Atwill, Ralph Bellamy, Bela Lugosi, Evelyn Ankers, Lon Chaney, in the gripping tale of a monster the tomb cannot engulf, chains cannot hold.
Going to give him life.
Yes. Not for the purposes that you're thinking for. I'm giving him another brain.
Is that your husband? Yes, yes.
A lot of the success of a lot of these films was strictly through their hype. Take a look at the beginning part of Black Friday and all the hype they did with Lugosi being hypnotized, et cetera, et cetera. But, you know, a lot of people were gullible enough to believe the hype, as they are now with half of these movies and stuff. Okay, so as you saw by the way these trailers were presented, the trailer itself is a lost art form in the world of cinema in general. Once upon a time, when a trailer was created, they used to shoot completely separate scenes to construct the trailer. You know, it was a whole different art form then, compared to now picking and choosing the hot points of the movie, slapping them together with some graphics and some credits, and calling it a trailer. No, the trailer used to be a completely separate film from the actual movie it was promoting. Lost art, you say? Yes, in a lot of ways. But we're going to take a break. And we're going to come back to something from the spring of 2001. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Oh, she's still here.
The most popular beverage in America, milk. Refreshing and delicious. The perfect pickup and energizer. Get yours now.
Here's magic, popcorn magic. Only hot, fresh, perfectly seasoned popcorn can satisfy that movie time popcorn craving. So if you like popcorn, you'll really like ours. We start with the best and make it better. Get plenty for everybody now.
Get the item that adds to your personal comfort. Cigarettes, here they are. Get the kind you prefer and enjoy them thoroughly. All the most popular brands.
Get the item that adds to your personal comfort. Cigarettes, here you are. Get the kind you prefer and enjoy them thoroughly. All the most popular brands.
What's to eat? What's to drink?
Good food galore.
Quick as a wink.
Ice cream bars. It's the handy way to enjoy smooth, rich, creamy ice cream. Get some.
Popcorn freshly popped and buttered. Look good? Sure, it looks good, and it tastes even better. Get some now.
Hey, what the heck is going on here? Are you there? Oh, there you are. Hey, it's Mr. Shriek here from Black Sky Cinema. We got the camera set for Trailer Trash, so I'm gonna bend down here and wish Scotty J oh, my back, it's killing me. Yeah, he's got the camera set for Trailer Trash here. Yeah, he was gonna come by and visit, but so I'm gonna have to, yeah. Man, that's hard. Anyone got a chair? Yeah, Scotty J, when he comes on my show, we usually put him like on a step ladder, but yeah, I'm here. This is the Trailer Trash 10th anniversary season, and I just wanted to wish Scotty J a happy 10th anniversary, and we're right behind you. We got 4 years. Well, we're way behind you, actually. But yeah, Trailer Trash, you know, I've told him many, many times he should just drop the trailer and just call the show Trash. But yeah, he wasn't going for that. And Scotty J, if you want to send him a gift, his wife needs batteries really bad. Yeah, Scotty J, well, how do you put this? He's not a 10 in the romance department, so send batteries to the Jameson household. They really need batteries. So happy anniversary, Scotty. Thanks for all the help over the years. Scotty's helped me do all kinds of stuff for the show. He fetches tapes for me, and he fetches snacks, and he makes sure you know, all the props are polished and clean, and he vacuums the parlor and all the different places we host the show from. So yeah, he's been a big help. And in fact, he's even gone and scored some weed from Shaky the Shaman for my good friends Me Zombie and Burns. So enjoy the 10th anniversary of Trailer Trash TV, or as I call it, my good night show. As soon as I put it on, boom, I'm out like a light. Yeah, it's not the most exciting thing on earth. But Scotty is really good at you know, holding that note clip, you know, that notepad of his. Yeah, he's got a grip. He's got that kung fu grip. He's been holding that notepad, reading his notes for 10 years now. Keep up the good work, man. I got to go meet my friends, Ivar and Me Zombie. We got a hot poker game going. Those guys can play poker for 60 hours nonstop. Of course, Me Zombie's dead. He doesn't need any sleep. But all right, catch you later. I'm going to straighten up now. Oh. Ah, there we go. Oh, that feels good. Those trailer trash cameras are set real low. Okay, before I go any further, it is that time. I gotta give the gratuitous plugs. I have to thank Eric Kitchen and the rest of the staff at New Hope Cinema Grill in New Hope, Minnesota. Very unique, family-oriented establishment in the way that you can not only see the movie, but you can have dinner and a movie at the same venue at the same time. Very cool concept. If you want more information, go to newhopecinemagrill.com. They'll answer all your questions there. They're available for private parties, private bookings, and they're first-run movies. It's not the cheap-ass old buck theaters anymore. Eric has done wonders with the place, and I gotta commend him for it, and I have to thank him for letting me in and doing every ounce of trailer trash here this 10th anniversary season. Without further ado, we're gonna kick into this next block from April of 2001. You know, we took a twist and we left the horror genre alone and decided to pursue other genres of film. So what I had done with this, I decided to do some classic comedy stuff. I went into some classic Jerry Lewis, and that's what this block is. You're going to see some classic slapstick trailers, as well as classic slapstick intro by the host at that time. And I guess without further ado, let's kick back into April of 2001. Classic Jerry Lewis. We're going to be here live at New Hope Cinema Grill when we come back.
Yes. Welcome to another installment of Trailer Trash. Thank you, Dino. But we're going to continue this week with another installment of classic Jerry Lewis films. I'm your host, Scotty J, for Scotty J's Trailer Trash, and we're going to start this week with a film called The Patsy. Very similar to some of his earlier films, especially one called The Errand Boy, which dealt with basically a gopher through the Hollywood film industry. We're going to follow that up with a film called The Family Jewels. As I mentioned at the close of last week's show, Family Jewels was unique in the case that Jerry played 7 different characters in this film. It's very cool, and you'll see that. You'll be introduced to each of the characters in this trailer. But and we're going to end that with a film called The Big Mouth. He brought back the physical character of he brought back the character from The Nutty Professor. The physical character, not the same name, but you'll see what I mean in visual appearance. But let's take a look at these, and we'll be right back.
It's always heavy. They're hard to write. Oh, good shot.
Jerry Lewis as the lovable, gullible innocent, who becomes the mark for 6 wily characters in search of their bread and butter.
Stanley, my boy.
Yeah.
How would you like to make $150 each and every week? All right. 175, but that's it.
I just got to tell you this. I'm not doing nothing illegal.
Stanley, do we look dishonest?
Jerry Lewis, a bouncy bellboy who falls for their baloney and their blarney. And goes into training to make like a star. This is you.
What, do you expect, another fella?
They try to make him look like a star. Romance like a star. Tap dance like a star. Make personal appearances like a star. And yet, one day, he has to face the moment of truth and find out he's only a Patsy, but the funniest, most lovable Patsy you ever did see.
I say, if you will just pay attention here for a moment, I should like to show you the simply fantastic trick that I do in the scene from my latest cinema, The Family Jewels. You see, it all comes about when I, while searching for my little niece Donna, ends up in this absolutely dreadful pool parlor. Steady now. Here it comes.
Hey, creep. Hold it a second. What are you, some kind of monopoly? Stop. Hey, you, up in the booth. Stop this film this second.
Oh, dash.
Look, folks, I'm in this picture, too. And Donna is by these also. Hey, projector creep. Show my plot. See? There I am. And there's Donna. Pretty cute, huh? And that Donna ain't so bad either. Get it?
Actually, Bugs, I'm in The Family Jewels, too. Couldn't we just look at some of me for a moment? You see, we're all brothers, and little Donna comes to live with each of us for a while. She's looking for a new father, and,
You're not going to give away the whole story, are you? At least let them get a look at all of us. There I am, the world's greatest clown.
Avast there, you painted fool! Let's get on to the He-Man side of this family. Now there's a man for you. Batten down those jib stays there, you landlocked sea dogs.
Good heavens there, Captain. Show them some of me. I'm in the Family Jewels, too, you know. Yes, sir, gang. There I am, winging along to the wild blue with the swiftness of the wind. Excuse me, Captain Eddie. I know I'm only the chauffeur, but couldn't we just show a little of me? Why, yes, good heavens, Willard. Off you go, lad. I'm not really one of Donna's uncles, but I am in the Family Jewels. In fact, we are all not only in the Family Jewels, we are the Family Jewels. Come and see us, won't you?
Oh, I say up there, Mr. Projectionist, you may carry on. Now, watch closely. Here it comes, a jolly well fantastic trick. Dashed I am good, you know. Now, did he say we were the Family Jewels or we're in the Family Jewels? Good heavens.
It's vacation time again. Stroll through an amusement park with a pretty girl. Or go fishing. Or play tennis. Or perhaps you prefer indoor sports. This movie has everything. It's called
The Big Mouth.
It's Jerry Lewis. And he's in big trouble. It's The Big Mouth versus The Big Ma. Co-starring Harold J. Stone, Charlie Callis, Buddy Lester, Del Moore, and introducing Susan Bay and Janine Riley.
As a matter of fact, that's happened to me on a number of occasions just the other day. Someone came up to me and took me for a Gregory Peck.
You're kidding.
What's the problem here, man?
A 309 and a 107.
Oh, resisting arrest and a leaky muffler, huh?
No, driving on the wrong side and faulty taillights.
No, it was just that I was fishing and that man came out of the ocean.
I said speeding and expired license plate.
A 309 is resisting arrest.
That's impossible. It's impossible.
It certainly is impossible. Fantastic. Calamitous.
I have very big problems. Among other things, I think I'm losing my mind.
You're just ridiculous. Why don't you try a cold shower?
A cold shower?
With Jerry running loose, everybody's losing his mind.
I was...
I'm gonna kill him! Shoot him!
Yeah, the whole idea with Jerry being involved with spies and espionage and this and this and this, and he made it work. As goofy and ludicrous as it may have appeared, it worked. And then the Family Jewels, that just shows Jerry's true genius, and and the makeup, the costume, the props department, as well as character development. I mean, he was just a genius all the way around, and he did it himself. He didn't have a team of writers. He didn't have a wardrobe consultant. He did it on his own. He did it on his own. So, looking at the tradition of the old school movie house, such as back in season 7 when I was at the Heights Theater in Columbia Heights, Minnesota, and looking at the megaplexes that are out there now, the 10, 12, 14, 20, 30, 50 screen theaters, it just, something like this is what works for me. I need the smaller theaters, one movie at a time, please. And it's the theater itself has kind of lost its appeal in a lot of ways, but you look at the trailers that you've seen here, that's what movie making used to be about. And Jerry Lewis was a master of it. Jerry Lewis wasn't afraid to parody the very business he was in. He would spoof Hollywood, he would spoof television, he would spoof executives in Hollywood, he would spoof directors of famous Hollywood films, tongue-in-cheek within the movie. The movie was a spoof, but within that movie, there was an inside story where he had all these in-gags. I mean, we saw the Patsy, we saw the Family Jewels, and we saw the Big Mouth. The Patsy was the one I was mainly referring to. So yeah, Hollywood itself, I'm not saying it's a joke directly, but a lot of things have changed since the golden age of film, since the silver age of film. We're in the corporate age of film now as we know it, and audience appeal is dwindling at a rapid pace. That's why there are so many companies online with downloadable movies that are kind of making the theater industry suffer. The mainstream theaters and the megaplexes, okay, there's not a whole lot in the way of atmosphere. You come to a place like this, New Hope Cinema Grill, you get the family atmosphere, plus the dinner. The dinner with the movie is a nice perk at the same place. So I guess, without further ado, we're going to take a break, and from the input that I received after last installment, Yesterday's News is kind of taking off in an unexpected way. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with Yesterday's News. Will you... What?
I love you, Scotty. I love you.
I gotta take care of this.
I'm blowing you kisses. Come on, Scotty.
I'll see what I gotta take care of this.
Scotty, please.
Crisp, flavorful fish sandwiches, golden brown and crunchy outside, and tender and juicy inside for a snack or a meal.
Junior, he's always hungry. As for Sis, she's hungry too. Our barbecue is prepared with just the right amount of heat to keep in the natural juices and hold in that wonderful flavor. Aren't they delicious? Boy, does Junior go for them. And Sis likes them too. So come on, boys and gals. Let's have a barbecue.
Way down in
in old Virginia 300 years ago. Captain John Smith and Pocahontas shot their meat and aged it slow. They smoked it and they spiced it too for flavor at its best. Genuine Smithville barbecue surpasses all the rest.
Yes, folks, it's 300 years of tradition and taste you savor when you ask for a Smithfield barbecue, James River brand, at our refreshment center. In each flavorful morsel of meat, you can smell the hickory, oak, and applewood and taste the rare herbs and spices required for its cure. Here is truly a fresh new taste from an ancient recipe.
Go for deep down flavor of the Smithfield country kind. Just step by the clear neighbor, find your taste, and lose your mind. Yeah!
Hot chocolate with a magical flavor you won't be able to resist. At our refreshment stand now.
Happy 10th anniversary, Scotty. Of course, you know me. I'm Tim McCoy. I do the podcast with you as well as help you on your show and doing all that camera work and directing and writing. And I do nothing for your show, basically. Matter of fact, I can remember when it was, I'd say it was 30 years ago I bumped into you. I had nothing to do with you then. And it was only up until, I think it was the past 7 years that I didn't know you. And I would say roughly about 5 years ago, I kind of knew who you were. But it was, I think it was closer than that. I think it was like 3, 4 years, somewhere around in there, that I started working for you. And I've enjoyed every minute of it. And I'm not saying that under duress or anything, considering you know where I live. You have the right to my DNA. What the hell can I say? God, you got something about pictures and my wife and all this not telling. But just happy anniversary, Scotty. And thank you for being on TV because basically everything sucks but you. I mean, I could get, happy 10th, dude.
Okay. You know, before we kick into this last segment, I got to thank Eric again and everybody at New Hope Cinema Grill. We're in the arcade at New Hope Cinema Grill, and he's got a place for the kids to hang out, obviously with parental discretion, of course. But they've got the food, they've got the kitchen, and I'm looking around, I'm seeing some vintage games I hadn't seen since, well, okay, they didn't have video games when I was a kid. But this is, whoa, dude. But there's no pinball. There's no freaking pinball. I can handle pinball. Do I need a license for this? He's got everything from his Pac-Man to this something Star Wars trilogy arcade thing. Just gonna, so as I was saying, yesterday's news, new segment this particular season on Trailer Trash TV. And what it is, it's the classic take on the newsreels that used to be played in the theaters before televised news came about. And this week is no exception. So with that, we're going to kick into yesterday's news. I got to thank Tim McCoy, Nikki, Jack, and Barb Nolan, and the rest of the people at Northwest Community TV for helping me out with this all these years. We've been watching Trailer Trash TV's 10th anniversary, and I'm going to see if I can blow some stuff up. Okay, what do I... How many quarters? What? Oh, crap.
1952 was for America a year of decision. A record 62 million, representing a cross-section of this broad land, streamed to the polls to choose their next president. Uppermost in their minds was Korea. On this point, candidate Eisenhower made a dramatic campaign statement.
This evening, I repeat to you the pledge I made to all the American people last week. This will be the first great labor of our new administration. To advance it, to appraise on the spot methods for solving that particular problem with speed and honor, I shall go to Korea.
When the ballots had been counted and the nation had spoken, General Ike rolled up a majority of 6 million votes over his Democratic opponent. After 20 years, the administration had changed hands, and the public met its new president and the incoming First Lady of the land. It was bitterly cold when the president-elect arrived in Korea to keep his campaign promise, and it was the beginning of a 3-day whirlwind tour of a front now going into its 3rd year. It was part of the general's mission to see and appraise for himself a problem on which his administration must decide. A new Bunker Hill makes history. This one's in Korea, in our hands at the moment, and U.S. Marines are busy seeing to it that Bunker Hill remains in our hands. Enemy bunkers on Bunker Hill get a going over from grenades as the Leathernecks close in for the kill. A dose of their own medicine slows them down, but only temporarily. His machine gun is jammed, but his isn't, and he pins down the Reds dug in ahead of the advancing Leathernecks. Things are quiet in the truce tents at Panmunjom, not far distant. But on this one small sector of the Korean front, action flares briefly as a Marine detachment carries out its assignment to blast them out or burn them out of their last remaining foothold on Bunker Hill. The carrier Princeton throws everything and the kitchen sink at the enemy, literally. A kitchen sink attached to a bomb is hoisted to the racks of a Skyraider attack bomber. Sink the Reds is the Navy's latest battle song. Flights from other carriers join the Princeton group in paraphrasing a famed war message. Sighted enemy. Sinked sane. Air Force fighter bombers are also on the prowl, strafing supply dumps, railroads, and key bridges just after the Reds repaired it. Our aerial campaign to hit 'em and hit 'em hard continues without let-up. First films of one of the most amazing rocket experiments to date. At White Sands, New Mexico, Air Force scientists prepare to launch a rocket into upper space manned by 2 white mice and Albert the monkey. The purpose, to study their reactions to travel at altitudes and speeds never attained by human beings. 0 hour approaches. They're off at 2,000 miles an hour. Special equipment broadcasts Albert's physical reactions back to the test station. Defense Department films show the rocket 38 miles up. Inside the missile, an automatic camera shows the mice running on the sides of their cage. There's no gravity here, no up or down. Notice the floating ball. A parachute opens to ease the rocket and its precious cargo to a gentle landing. Anxious scientists rush to the scene and discover the animal crew has weathered the flight safely. It's Albert's moment of triumph. He's the world's first space cadet. Here's a flying saucer in a rare close-up portrait. But this one is no mystery. Unlike its high-flying cousins, this saucer is created in an Army laboratory at Fort Belvoir, Virginia. Physicist Noel Scott, who discovered the effect, says it's the same phenomenon that has baffled scientists, hexed radar screens, and led jet fighters on costly wild saucer chases. A mass of air under low pressure and electrically charged, and as you see, taking on the shape of a glowing saucer. It's the answer to the year's #1 scientific mystery. Or is it? At Mills College in Oakland, California, a revolutionary idea is in the making. Students of the new instruments and composer and designer Harry Parch create weird and unique music on cloud chamber bowls derived from atomic research and a kithara. This modern orchestra produces music in 43 tones instead of the usual 12. This is one result of Partch's 30 years of search for the elusive tones that exist between the notes on a regular piano. The train of tomorrow makes its debut today in Germany. A streamlined bullet riding a single rail at super speeds. A scale model is displayed on a mile-long test track, hitting speeds up to 93 miles an hour, taking the 45-degree turns without a shudder. The full-size model will travel at nearly 200 miles an hour, skating along the radical single rail on ball bearings instead of wheels. It's a safe, smooth ride, say the inventors, and they should know they're riding it.
Two larger-than-life figures passed away in 1952, England's King George and Argentina's beloved Evita.
It was a year of tragedy and mourning for Great Britain, which lost its well-loved monarch, George VI, who, despite his grave illness, continued his duties until death overtook him at the age of 56. Throughout the British Commonwealth, the Sailor King had won the hearts of his subjects, and his passing cast a pall over the empire. From the historic balcony at St. James, the Royal Herald reads the proclamation of the King's passing.
Whereas it hath pleased Almighty God to call to his mercy our late sovereign Lord.
With heraldic splendor, Britain enters its second Elizabethan era after 394 years. Britons today, for the first time in 51 years since the death of Queen Victoria, will be ruled by a queen. Their sovereign will be 25-year-old Elizabeth II, and 400 million subjects throughout the globe will join in voicing the traditional God Save the Queen. Eva Perón, glamorous wife of President Perón, is dead, and hundreds of thousands of her followers gather before the Ministry of Labor building in Buenos Aires, where her body lies in state. Born in obscurity, she rose to power with Argentina's strongman, and with her passing, civilian and military leaders join in the national mourning. Her chief interest centered in the working class of the nation, and their grief is evident as they leave after passing her bier. So great was the emotional impact aroused by her death that near riots developed, as an estimated 150,000 filed past her coffin in the flower-banked Labor building. A huge black-bordered portrait of Eva Duarte Perón dominates the scene as crowds line up in the rain to mourn a woman who wrote a large chapter in Argentine history.
1952 was a year of continued testing of nuclear weapons. The soldiers seen here were guinea pigs used to determine the immediate effects of the bomb on military personnel. However, some long-term effects were already becoming apparent.
A closely guarded secret for more than a year. An atomic blast set off on the lonely atoll of Eniwetok, 4,500 miles out in the Pacific, is released to the public to show the devastating effects of the bomb on fighting equipment and all types of buildings. The carefully controlled test was months in the planning by the Atomic Energy Commission and the Armed Forces. Every electronic control device is functioning smoothly, and the cataclysmic moment is here, a dress rehearsal of a possible future. At Tokyo University Hospital, excitement is high as Dr. Suzuki, head of the hospital, greets Dr. Morton, chief of the Hiroshima Atom Casualty Commission, present to examine members of a fishing boat crew burned during the Eniwetok hydrogen bomb tests. Some of the 23 fishermen aboard suffered serious injuries as the result of the radioactive ash fall 300 miles from the scene of the explosion. Victims have the same type of burns as those suffered when the first atom bomb was dropped on Hiroshima. Already, America has offered to provide treatment and compensate the fishermen. Another byproduct of the stupendous mid-Pacific blast unfolds in San Francisco, where tuna fish, supposedly made radioactive during the tests, are scrutinized by federal agents armed with Geiger counters for signs of contamination. Fish shipped from Japan must undergo rigid inspection by food and drug officials before being allowed entry. In this case, the fish are given a clean bill of health.
The atomic age had truly come into being, and man held firmly in his grasp the power of progress or destruction.
The searing atomic blasts punctuated an event-packed year, a year of which historians of the future may well say it was a year of destiny.
Is all you get. Money and fame gonna get you yet. 15 minutes is all you get, so get it while you can. 15 minutes is all you get. Money and fame and no regret. 15 minutes is all you get, so get it while you can.